Will Jay-Z lead Puma to NBA relevance?
Yeah, he's iconic. I mean, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, what do they got on the headset? A lot of them grew up with Jay-Z. I think he is Uber to the taxi game. He's a complete disruptor. Is that if I'm an agent and Jay-Z walks in and I got Marvin Bagley, who's cool? So what Magic Johnson, by the way, if Daryl Morey and Magic Johnson walk into a room, who's LeBron want to talk to? He wants to talk to Magic Johnson. I think Jay-Z is a disruptor. I think he's Uber. He's Amazon in retail. And I think it's a scary. If you're an agency, it's scary.
I think he'll help them land some players. But I think where I think this is misguided is there's this belief that somehow rap and hip-hop is the way to sell tennis shoes. And it's just not true. I don't think it's been true since Run DMC and my Adidas. The way to sell tennis shoes is through greatness on the basketball court from a player who crosses all demographics. Nobody sold shoes like Michael Jordan, and no one will ever sell shoes again like Michael Jordan because none of them want to follow Michael Jordan's blueprint in terms of being acceptable in every American home and just being excellent. And so we just keep thinking the NBA has swallowed the whole rap, hip-hop, and the shoe companies have followed in behind it, and it just doesn't lead to the kind of success that people think it does.
But see, I think the NBA's embrace of hip-hop culture is one of the things that's sparked it to be so popular now. I think that's why
Less
it's
popular
past
than
baseball.
the Jordan era.
I don't think it's less popular than the Jordan era. Overall, the NBA, I mean,
Less
you only
popular
had
than the
3
Jordan
channels
era?
and 20 cable stations back then. I mean, so but that's neither here nor there. The question about Jay-Z, no, I hope I'm wrong, but no, he's not going to resurrect Puma. Not at all, because number one, Jay-Z was even bigger when he was with Reebok. He had a sneaker with Reebok, and it didn't do anything on the court or off the court. And that's when they had Allen Iverson as well. Number two, big men don't sell sneakers. You got DeAndre Ayton, Marvin Bagley. Remember Patrick Ewing? The Ewings were fresh. Shaq,
David Robinson,
Hakeem. The Tonics was nice, but they never sold.
And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that.
Dwight Howard, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Big men have a problem selling shoes because, you know why? I can't aspire and grow up and say I want to be 7 foot. I want to be Shaquille. That's why in China, the most popular athlete at one time, it wasn't Yao Ming, it was Allen Iverson.
Yep.
Because they can relate to that. I think from a business perspective, Puma has always had great casual gear, urban gear.
Exactly. That's
so
what
if you really want to tie the cultures together and get NBA players, I think the business aspect of it has to be on the court shoe, but lifestyle, a lifestyle brand. That's what Adidas sells. Adidas sells lifestyle. Yeah. So if I'm bringing in a Jay-Z and I want to connect the hip-hop world with NBA, it's not going to be so much I'm selling the shoe, more so than I'm selling the lifestyle and the brand of Puma. And now you got it all encompassed. It's not just basketball. It's skate shoes. It's casual shoes. It's wear. It's hats. It's everything. Now I think Jay-Z's impact can be a lot bigger.
Look, Puma had Vince Carter in 98.
For a short time.
2 years.
For 2 years.
But Vince was as graceful an athlete as you'll ever see. Obviously, one of the greatest dunkers ever. And he couldn't sell. And look, Nike's got the NBA on lock. It's as simple as that. Here's the news to anybody.
Jordan has the NBA on
lock.
lock.
Well, Jordan is the one that's when Nike took over. You remember Pony and Puma back in the day, Converse?
Got him out the way.
He had it on lock. Look, and one had all the street cred in the world with the mixtapes. They had dozens of NBA players wearing them. And the shoes looked pretty good. And they couldn't sell.
They couldn't sell.
You can't.
You're
Nike's
making
got
my
it on
point,
lock.
Chris.
No, I agree with you. It's not because of hip-hop or anything. I just don't think anyone can crack what Nike has in the NBA.
Because no one, and we'll get into this probably later in the week, because no one wants to follow Jordan's path. This is where I question LeBron James just as a businessman. If he had stayed a little less hip-hop, he could have kept all of his street credibility, he could have kept all of his urban credibility, but a few less tattoos and just play it down the middle of the road the way Jordan did, I think he could have surpassed Jordan as a shoe seller. But no one wants to be in that lane. Everybody thinks you got to go way too urban in order to sell. What?
Steph's not urban or anything like that. No, very few tattoos.
Steph's not LeBron. Steph's not Jordan.
Doesn't Steph
Steph's
sell shoes?
cute.
Well, he said the nurse. Yeah, he had the nurse shoe, but Think about the timing. Think about the timing of Jordan when he came in.
Exactly.
It's all timing.
Exactly.
Because when he came in, it was all about, I mean, he kind of captured the world by storm. So when Nike put that whole program together behind Air Jordan, this was new, it was unique, It was something totally different. What we're seeing now, you tell me something that's unique and new about the shoes that's coming out, that draw you to it. You got kids right now who never saw Michael Jordan play, but yet and still, the aura around Michael Jordan, the shoe still sells. So I think a lot of it had to do with the timing in which Michael came into the league, and that whole promotion part of it is so different.
I think he was the first official
What I got on.
signature shoe, right?
Just look at this guy's shoe.
He got on the Adidas.
Oh, I got Adidas
that's
too.
where,
That's classic.
Where Puma should go.
That's classic.
That's what
It's
Puma
lifestyle.
can do. They can
It's
hit
lifestyle.
the lifestyle standpoint.
Gotta have
All
some.
right.
You gotta.
Whitlock, would it be a mistake for the OKC Thunder to back up the Brinks truck for Paul George?
Yeah, big mistake. I just don't. He's not a max contract guy to me based off of what we saw this year. I would not back up the Brinks truck for Paul George. I think he and Russell Westbrook are a bad fit together. I don't think it's a winning championship fit. You back up the Brinks truck to me about championships. And I just don't see that combination winning championships. I guess if you're OKC, you have no choice. Who else would play there? And so maybe you have no choice, but I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I think I've never disagreed with you more on this show. Listen, man.
You want someone to play with Russell Westbrook, to attach their career to Russell Westbrook.
No, what I'm saying is I'm defending Westbrook.
What?
If
What?
If-
What? Really? Are you something wrong?
If Paul George bails on Westbrook, his brand is done. He is super flake.
Who's done? Westbrook is done?
Who in the world is going to play with Westbrook? Listen, I can criticize Westbrook all I want. He is fun to talk about. He is fun
So
to talk
you back
about.
up the Brinks truck.
For Paul George and OKC, let me tell you something. Do you understand what's happening here? Harden left, Durant left. This is the last
But
hope.
Harden didn't leave because of Westbrook.
Whatever.
He had
If
nothing
Paul
to do.
George leaves,
Gotcha.
they'll never get another player. And by the way, Westbrook, who is one of the most fascinating topics in our business, becomes kind of like crazy Westbrook in the middle of nowhere.
Still got
Let
Steven
me
Adams.
ask you this, Jason. How'd you feel about the Reggie Miller era in Indiana?
Loved it.
Loved it. Did you win a championship?
Loved it.
Did you
It
win
was
the championship?
awesome. What?
Did you win the championship?
No, but we
Okay.
played in the finals.
Won finals. Okay. My point is this. It's not, you want to win a championship, yes. But more importantly, you want to be relevant. You want to be in
Yes,
the playoffs.
yes.
And if are they going to win a championship with George and Westbrook? No. But they could be a second round, maybe on the fringes of a conference finalist.
Hey, we talk about them
They'll be
nonstop.
relevant. They got two, not only stars, but like interesting stars, exciting players. And it's Oklahoma City. You're going to put butts in the seats. They're not going to win a championship, but yeah, they should do it.
But also, too, Jason, you got to keep in mind, how many really max players are there in the league?
4.
Thank you. But
If
you're gonna
that's
end up,
what you define
if
it
you
as,
define it, because
we
you're going to
would
end up overpaying guys to keep
I'd
them.
rather pay Boogie Cousins.
You rather pay Boogie Cousins.
Oh,
He has never made the playoffs in his life.
Coming off an injury, coming off the attitude stuff, I trust Paul George from this perspective. I know he's going to bring it. Is he my optimal number 1A guy? No. But like Chris said, and also with the league, OKC has issues with this. Free agents are not going to come down there like Cleveland. So either we build through the draft or retain the free agents that we have. So they got to throw the boat at Paul George to see what he wants to do.
If
By the way-
Paul George takes a max deal from OKC after abandoning Indiana, it's going to irritate me. He left Indiana.
that's the
He left
issue.
Indiana to go to LA, but now you're going to sign a max deal in OKC. You can't tell me he wouldn't have been better off staying
So
in
you
Indiana.
mad because he thinks Oklahoma City's a better city than your hometown.
He'd be better
That's what
off
it is.
going back to Indiana and playing with Oladipo.
don't want
If he
him.
played with Oladipo, that would be better than playing with Westbrook, and he'd have a better
And they
chance
be
of
in the
winning.
East. I do agree. They be in the East.
I like him.
agree.
I told you I like him in Philly. So
Yes,
I like him in
yes,
Philly.
yes.
You have to overpay for a pool in Phoenix. Okay? They're going to gouge you. It's 170 in the summer. Okay, in OKC, you got to pay a B-plus guy like an A-plus guy. That's
But
just the reality of it.
Here's the thing.
That's a good point.
Everybody would pay Paul. I mean, He's
In
not
today's
the number
world.
one
In
diamond,
today's
but
world.
you know how many guys are max guys that aren't? Victor Oladipo's gonna get the max.
Yeah.
John
Deserves it.
Wall's got the max. Bradley Beal's gonna get the max. If you're an
Oladipo
all-star,
deserves
you're
it.
gonna get the max. Why?
on.
What's he gonna lead you to? Second
We
round?
almost beat Cleveland.
Almost. Hey,
What's he gonna lead you to?
almost.
Exactly.
But
The Lakers will give Paul George the max.
But my thing, too, with OKC is they're still in the situation. I think they got to address the Paul George issue, but also, to me, and I'll talk to you about this, about the Carmelo issue, okay? I think what's important here is that we always talk about Carmelo and what's going to happen. I say, from a leverage perspective, OKC has to go to Melo and say, listen, you want to opt in? Coming off the bench. Put the onus on Carmelo to make a decision because he's not getting $28 million out on the market. Now you can at least handle that part of it while you're still trying to figure out what you're going to do with Paul George.
Yep. Look, I'm with you, though. Paul George, he should be looking at Philadelphia.
Phil, I'm telling you.
That's where he should be
To
looking
me,
at. I'm
that is
sorry.
the perfect spot
Or
for him.
Indiana with Oladipo.